Hello and welcome to the Jump into Joy 7-Day Challenge. Today is day 4. We're going to be talking about love and relationships. And this is a very important topic because every part of our life is related to how we can communicate and connect with others and how we can be with others in a positive way. This is the Jump into Joy challenge. So we would like to, raise the bar a little bit on our communication and being able to get what we need from relationships, and also be able to set our boundaries and make sure that we're safe and secure. Every relationship is here for you in this lifetime in a particular way. So every purpose of each relationship is for spiritual growth, for learning a lesson. We might even run into someone in the parking lot somewhere and have an experience that will click for us. For example, if you need to learn how to tolerate certain behaviors, or if you need to learn patience, or if you need to learn kindness, or if you need to allow someone to do something nice for you and see what it feels like to receive, these are all spiritual lessons. And so you can look at every connection and every relationship as a spiritual partnership. The longer the relationship in your life, the more serious the lesson, right? So there's a belief. You can choose to believe that we choose our parents and when we come into this lifetime. And that usually means that we're setting ourselves up for a very big lesson. Um, from the outside looking in, it's hard to see why some people would choose certain parents to be born into that family, and it isn't for us to figure out, but it is for that soul's journey to understand what the lessons are and how to navigate those experiences. And maybe it has more to do with owning your power and learning how to speak up for yourself. um, there are a wide variety of lessons. So for today, what I'd like to do is go into 10 different tips that can help with your spiritual partnerships. And you can get pen and paper out, write some things down. You might have heard all of this before, and I'm happy if you did. That's great. If you would like to drop a comment in the chat box so that if you have a question or you'd like some more clarity on a topic, please go ahead and do that. And again, this information will be available afterwards on a replay. So if you have to step out for anything, you can come back and watch it another time. And thanks again for being here. And so number one in this topic is we want to bring more joy and peace and love and comfort. And so in order to understand your relationships, it's so important to understand what love is. And I have written an audiobook on the qualities of love and how to bring more of it into your life. You can check that out on the website. It is the 28 Days to More Love. And each day is filled with a meditation and a practice so that you can experience each quality of love a little more. So that might be helpful going forward in your relationships. But what I like to do is just quickly go over some of those qualities just so that when we talk about them in the future, you understand where it's coming from. So above all, if you are spiritual or religious, you've heard love is patient, love is kind from the Bible. There are a lot more things that we expect of love that aren't written there. And I have found that it's pretty much across the board that everyone wants these things, but doesn't really associate them with the word love. So if you look at love, you'd say you would want someone to be honest, right? Someone who's true to you. You would want someone who is generous, who is sensitive, who is receptive to um, talking about issues, who is a good listener, right? Someone who is compassionate, and above all, loves you unconditionally. Unconditional love is something that we don't see a lot in the world. The world is full of judgments. There's judgments on everything. The way you look, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you speak, the way that you think, um, the way you act, all the different uh, TikToks um, and TV shows and movies. They all show so many different aspects of people doing silly things. And so we're trained to look at things through that lens, with fashion and models, what they look like. It's like a standard that is being set for us. So then we end up judging ourselves, which isn't fair because we are individuals. We each have our own beauty and our own eclectic needs and desires. And we want to be able to be accepted, which is also a quality of love, right? To be accepted for who we are. And so, in order for us to really feel that way, first and foremost, we need to be in our own skin. We need to accept ourselves for who we are. We need to appreciate ourselves, show ourselves more love. And this whole part of self-love we're going to work more on Sunday at the virtual retreat. So if you are ready to dive into more self-care and appreciating yourself more and standing in your own power, I would invite you to check that out and sign up. But these qualities are what we look for in a partner, in a friendship. We look for them in our workplace as well. We hope that we can get that from our boss. We want to feel appreciated and accepted and not judged. It allows us room to be able to be free with our ideas and open ourselves up to be creative. And that will help bring us hopefully more acceptance in the world. We'll find our people, we'll find our niche, we'll find the people that resonate with us, that can help us on our journey to lift us up. So that was first and foremost on the list, is that we understand love. And then second, that we can experience this sense of being in our own skin, where we are not trying to live someone else's life. So if you are in a relationship and you truly don't uh, understand why people are doing certain things, or you don't approve of it, it doesn't feel good to you the way that they're treating you, it's important for you to say things from your perspective. And this is going into number 3, speaking from the self. I feel that. It feels like this to me when you do this, as opposed to saying to the person, I, you treat me this way. You need to be able to stand in your own power and claim what is right for you. Being more direct in that way will get you more respect. Respect is another quality of love. And so when we stay in our own skin, we are not trying to live someone else's life. We're not trying to control them. We're giving them the freedom to be who they are. Now, when it comes to affecting us, we truly need to be able to speak up for ourselves. And if you are in a relationship where you are not being heard and you are not being respected and you are being verbally abused or attacked, it is not necessary that you stay there. Remember, you're there for a purpose. You came together because there was some connection, there was something common between you, and it may have felt right. That part of you is looking to work out an issue or understand why you have connected. And those connections usually happen um, in the beginning of our lives when we are on, so to speak, autopilot, or we're creating by default. You are connecting with people who are familiar to what you were raised with. And that comfort, that feels comfortable to you, um, that type of relationship. It may not be good for you, and at some point down the line, you might say, "Oh, you know what? This isn't who I want to be with. This isn't what's right for me." Maybe you've grown, that you've seen that this is really not acceptable, and this person is speaking to you in a derogatory way. You do have choices. You can choose to stay. You can choose to try to get counseling between the two of you. You can decide to leave. And it really comes down to you standing in your power and being open and honest with yourself and claiming what is right for you. I was in that situation myself, and had it not been for the bond of marriage, I probably would have left long before I did. And that bond of marriage was sacred to me. And that to me is what kept me there. And also because I did love and care about the person. But verbal abuse is never okay. And what kept me in that relationship was something that was based on my own sense of morality, virtue, um, and sometimes we need to let go of those constructs in order for us to really be true to ourselves. And so that would take us to number 4, which is listening to yourself, listening to your own intuition and letting that guide you. Again, notice how we're going from being in a relationship to focusing on ourself. We all have certain issues to work out, and we need to know who we are and what that is about, and not project that onto someone else. It's not someone else's fault or problem to work out in this lifetime. It is our own. So we need to listen to ourselves. So that goes back to staying in your own skin. And it also brings me to working out your issues with someone other than your partner or your friend or your parent. It's not their job to be your counselor. It is important for you to go seek out help with the appropriate people, right? These people, these relationships you've cultivated may be in your life for that reason, to trigger you so that you understand what your issues are that you need to resolve. But it isn't up to them to be the one to tell you what to do. You need to listen to your intuition and go work out those issues with someone else and make the right decisions that feel good to you. Because again, remember, we're jumping into joy, and joy is about what is feeling good, like moving toward what feels better to us. We are bringing ourselves down to number 5, which is checking your fear at the door. So, what is stopping you from saying the words you need to say, from making the moves you need to make, from staying with this partner when it doesn't feel good? You know, we can love someone from afar as well as we can love them in our home. We don't have to stay in those bad situations. There may be a lot of other circumstances that keep you where you are, but if it's fear based, it's not going to serve you anymore. In order for you to really thrive in this world, it's time for you to embrace love. And loving yourself is just as important as showing love to the other person. So when we are living from fear, we're letting that guide our decisions. It's going to keep us stuck in this pattern of getting what we don't want. It's familiar territory, but it's not necessarily what is good for us. So When you can break through your fears, when you can have courage to walk through that door and say, I am taking charge and you are not going to direct my life, or I am going to, show you even more love than what you're used to, and see if that shifts things a little bit. That may be just the answer that you need, that this person needs to feel more accepted, more respected, more compassion. And so whatever you're doing, maybe try the opposite of what you would go to normally. Let those fear-based beliefs and worries and doubts sit on the floor for a little while and just see what happens if you come from love. It's just as important to receive as it is to give. So check in and see if you are more of a giver or if you are taking more. I like to use the word receive more because we don't usually think about receiving. It's receiving is an action of someone else giving to you. Taking is you actively going after something. So if you are a giver and it feels uncomfortable to allow someone to do something for you, like cook you dinner, open the car door for you, buy you gifts, those little acts of kindness are the other person's way of showing love. And in order for you to be able to give out love, you need to receive some, right? And so giving is a wonderful thing, but just check in with yourself. Am I giving all the time? Or do I need to give a little bit more? And it's always good to make sure that you have communication. So the giving and receiving was number 6. Number 7, how can you communicate to be heard? Communication isn't just about the words you're saying. Communication is also about your actions. It's in how you show respect for yourself as well. So if you are getting up and you are right away doing for everyone else in the household, they might just get used to you doing that. And that might be what you need to do for a while. But what happens if you don't do that? Would you then be able to ask someone else to do that for you? Would you have the courage to sit there and say, I need someone to do for me? And would you be able to communicate that and ask kindly, could you please do this for me? And what happens if you do that? Just play with this a little bit and see how it feels. See if it's possible for you to open up and share what's good for you. And again, remember to stay in the I. I need, I feel, I want, and using kind words like please and thank you. And number 8, could you practice initiating more fun into your relationships? So could you be a little silly? Could you make some jokes? Could you plan some fun activity? Stir the pot a little bit. Do something completely out of the ordinary. Family game nights are always fun because they can bring everyone together and, find some silly way of making light and bringing joy into the home. Perhaps you can focus on doing something that would make your partner or someone else happy by doing something that they love, even if you don't like doing it. So a little bit of self-sacrifice can bring some more joy into the relationship. And at the same time, seeing if they would be willing to go the distance to do that for you. Because self-sacrifice, a little unselfishness is also a part of love. It also allows you both to feel important to each other, to feel more accepted. Number 9, can you practice using positive words and affirmations and compliments And gratitude, a little gratitude goes a long way. Thank you so much for doing this for me. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for going shopping when I didn't have time. Thank you so much for, remembering to take the trash out. Thank you so much for, texting me, hello, I love you in the middle of the day. We can do little things that really make the other person feel appreciated. And the gratitude really makes a big difference in getting what you want in any aspect of life. So always start with, thank you so much. I love and appreciate this. And just see how the dynamic might change. And then using random acts of kindness, like I said, texting in the middle of the day, maybe leaving a note on the windshield to say, hello, have a good day, or putting little love notes in someone's lunchbox, like mom used to do. I don't know if you had a mom that did that, but I did. Sending fun gifts or memes through texting is always nice to get in the middle of the day. Or how about just buying flowers or picking flowers for someone for no reason at all? There's all nice little ways that you can shower someone with love and make them feel special. And if you're going into a relationship, whether you're at the beginning or you've been in a relationship for a while and you are head over heels, or you're just not sure, I would urge you to please take your time, because over time, people show their true colors, and over time, you're met with different challenges and obstacles and experiences that show you really what that person is made of. And, if this is someone that you want to possibly spend your life with, you want to know that this is really going to work for you. Please don't stay with someone out of guilt or out of fear. It's important that you both honor and respect each other, and that you have the lifetime to look forward to. I always like to say, if you can't imagine your life without this person, if you look ahead and you think, I don't want to spend another day without them, then maybe this is the one. So I hope you have enjoyed some of this. And if you have any questions, if you want to talk through some issues, I am available for one-on-one coaching. And again, I also have, besides the audiobook on More Love, I also have a course on getting the love you desire. It's very easy to download. You can check it out on the links that I'm going to provide here with the video. And mostly remember, whenever it comes to relationships, go back to yourself and see what is happening with you. Are you getting triggered by something? Is this feeling good to you? Does it feel off? Are you getting a message that is just something just isn't right? Follow your intuition. Trust yourself. Your higher self, your intuitive self, is the one that really knows the truth. And I wish you great success with your relationships. And remember, always be nice to yourself. Make it a great day.